What's up, crew? Dr. Andrew Fix coming back to you here on The Code, doing a quick driving episode today. And what I want to talk to you guys about is this concept of growing pains. Our son, he is between 1.5 and 2. He's gradually closing in on 2 years old, and he's going through some growing pains. And what I'm talking about are not necessarily the physical growing pains that he's going through. He might have some of those, but he's more so going through the growing pains of, this toddler transition where he's trying to navigate and he's trying to understand life. He's trying to understand his emotions. He's trying to understand manners and communication. And there's some pain associated with that. You see it on his face, right? You see him upset, confused, unsure of why mom and dad are taking this thing away that he just threw, or why he's upset throwing a tantrum or something like that. He's going through some growing pains. And then I was just listening to a podcast, actually a different one, about the concept of growth cycles as it relates to business, and how your business has to go through growth cycles that may be uncomfortable, particularly financially uncomfortable, for whoever the owner is of that business. So, okay, Andrew, how does that relate to, the Code podcast and talking about health and human performance and optimizing things? Well, I think the truth of the matter is all of us are going to have to go through growth cycles if we want to get to where we want to go. And if you have the interest or the desire to achieve anything great, whether that is from a physical fitness standpoint, whether that's from a career standpoint, whether that is from a relationship standpoint, and getting to this awesome point with a friend or a partner, you're going to have to go through some growth phases in that realm, right? If you want to achieve a stronger squat, if you want to achieve a faster 5K, you're going to have to go through some physical discomfort in order to do that. You're potentially going to have to go through some schedule discomfort. You're going to have to prioritize that goal and say no to other things in order to accomplish that, in order to achieve that. And you're going to have to put in some hard work. It's not going to come easy to just continue to improve something from a physical fitness standpoint. Your speed, your time, your strength, the number of reps you can complete of something, right? If you want to go through a body transformation, weight gain and muscle building, weight loss, whatever that must be, you're going to have to go through some growing pains as it relates to that. You're going to have to go through potentially some changes in what you're putting in your body. You're going to have to go through some changes in your social activities. Like, are you constantly going out with other people, eating food that you don't exactly know how it was prepared, drinking alcohol, which, I'm not saying you can't have some alcohol from time to time, but if you do it consistently all the time, it's going to be really hard to reach your goals from a weight management and fitness standpoint. It has a lot of calories packed in there with basically no nutritional value, right? But you're going to have to go through some changes to, how you're preparing food, how you are eating throughout the week. And these are going to be uncomfortable changes. Now, that doesn't mean you can't get to the point where it is routine, where it's normal, where you're very used to this, but it's going to be uncomfortable when you start because you're having to make this big change. In your career, if you want to continue to advance and you want to continue to level up into different roles and different responsibilities, you're going to have to improve your skill set and improve you're going to have to demonstrate your value and your worth to either your employer or your potential employer if you're interviewing or things like that. You are going to need to get better, because as you continue to take steps or rungs up the ladder, going higher and higher, the responsibility gets greater, right? And the value that you need to bring to the table needs to get higher in most cases. You can't continue to just stay complacent and stay where you're at if you want to keep moving forward. And I think we all intuitively know that. However, you have to go through some discomfort in order to get to these places. Growth is not comfortable, right? Physically, it's not comfortable. For kids and adolescents, when they're going through physical growing pains as their bones and tissues are growing and lengthening, and growth within ourselves personal development, self-growth is uncomfortable. And in whatever area we're talking about, business, relationships, fitness, you name it, there are going to have to be some barriers of discomfort that you're going to need to push through. You're going to have to kick that door down in order to step through it and be on the other side of it. It's not just going to come easy where you can just mail it in day after day after day. Okay? So growing pains. What I want you to do is, as we wrap this up, is I want you to think about some growing pains that you're encountering right now in one of these areas, and how can you continue to lean in to that discomfort that you're feeling. Don't shy away from it, but how can you continue to lean into it so that you can push past it? Because when you step out of that comfort zone, you lean into that discomfort, you're going to be able to break through it at some point. It may be challenging. It may take a while of consistency, but you're going to be able to break through it and get to the other side where you're going to be so much better off on the other side of that, no matter what area or category of life we're talking about. Work, relationships, personal health, mindset. Push through that discomfort. Think about what you're going through and how you can continue to lean into it and get past it. Thanks, guys. I hope you appreciate this episode here on The Code, found something motivating and beneficial from it. As you maybe have heard me before, if you're a listener to this show, reviews help us get this thing out to more and more people so we can spread this message, help other people improve their life, physically, mentally, emotionally, you name it. So if you've never left a review on this podcast, now would be an amazing time for you to do that. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. I greatly appreciate it. And hope to catch you next time on another episode of The Code. See you later.